wheel hop. That's the topic today. We're gonna fix that on this thing. Get a whole box of cool stuff that I bought close to 5 years ago. The Speed Engineering kit, kind of the poor man's knockoff Caltrax, but that's what today's episode is going to be about, is getting all this installed. So before I get rambling, let me grab some tools, get the truck jacked up, and we'll get to work. Okay, so I got everything unwrapped because that was kind of BS how I had it earlier. Kind of cheesy. My best Vanna White. Ooh, so done that. Truck's jacked up and supported. Next thing I'm going to do is track down all the tools I may need, and then we're going to get to work and get these hung on here, and I will try and show as much with the camera step by step, but they're pretty self-explanatory. All right, so that's off. 21 millimeter. This is going to be the size you need to get these off, and then we can move forward to putting that plate on. Okay, it's on. Flat side goes to the front of the truck, angled side towards the rear bumper. It's all tightened down. Now we're ready to put this front bracket on. Up here, we'll get the bar on, we'll get our measurement right between here and the pivot point for the snubber, and we'll have one side complete, and we'll move to the other side, which I'll skip that. Once you've pretty much seen how this one goes in, you don't need to see it again, and then we'll show it back down on the ground. And of course we've got to do a payoff here before it rains and see if it helped. All right, now we have our front bracket in place. If you're wondering, the head and the nut of the bolt nut combo here, regular old American SAE 1/2 inch. So I'm going to attempt to install this pivot deal here one-handed while I hold the camera. Yeah, it's not working out too well, is it, guys? All right, that bolt through there hits on that front snubber. Then we've got to get our bar in front to rear so we can measure. They say, I think, 4 1/4 inches between the center line and center line here for this to hit in the proper spot. So I'm leaving everything loose up in here for now so that we can get that measurement correctly, and then we'll snug everything down nice and tight. All right, so got the bar on. Took our measurement and adjusted for the snubber here to the spring. Got it where I felt comfortable with it. I'm in the very bottom hole, front and rear. These are the bolts that hold the bar into the bracket, front and rear. FYI, it's good old 1 1/8 SAE for the head. I did not even have a wrench that size, so adjustable hammer it is. We're gonna go ahead and get them tightened up. Tighten up the jam nuts on the bar itself, and then that front pinion snubber bracket where it pivots, that needs to be tightened as well. But everything else is good, and when I come back, I'll have the other side down and it back on the ground. Okay, so I misspoke. I showed you these and said they're 1 1/8. These actually hold the snubber on that pivot bracket that's bolted to the leaf spring. They are SAE 15/16. These that have the threads all the way down the body, that's 1 1/8. So I just wanted to correct myself there. I'm not even going to bother editing out. I make mistakes. I'm only human. Okay, back on the ground. Everything's installed. Now, I do want to say I skipped a step. They tell you to use a 5/16 drill bit, and those front plates that clamp together that hold that snubber that pivots, they want you to drill through the leaf spring and nut and bolt it. I'd say at the power level I'm at, or lack of power in this case, if you've seen the other videos, you've seen it does rate about 336 to the tire, not a lot. But those shouldn't move around, but I was getting some wheel hop since that converter install. It's like a little 28 to 3000 converter on regular old hard tires here. And I want to track test this thing for some upcoming mods, but I didn't want a chance breaking the rear end with it wheel hopping that bad, even at this lack of power level. So these are on. They needed to go on. They've been kicking around the house for a while, but as you can see, they're all installed. I don't have any clearance issues with the overload. I'm still underneath the axle. It's not a flip kit. Truck's 3/4 dropped. I've got shackles and hangers. The equivalent to like a 1-inch drop spring by what I cut off of them in the front. 2-inch spindles. So, like I said, we'll go take this for a drive here shortly and see what it does. What I had noticed is when I snap the throttle, not a lot, just quick off of a stop or a slow roll, I'd get wheel hop. Or if I turn around a corner quick, I would get some wheel hop. So hopefully that'll cure that. And if it does, even though it's hot out here in February in Florida, snowing everywhere else, we're gonna go drag racing and see how fast or slow this thing really is with what we've got done to it currently. So, all right, coming up next, test drive. All right, so we're getting a test drive in before the rain hits because it's looking overcast like it wants to. And just getting out of the neighborhood now. I gave it a quick snap of the throttle, or usually at a wheel hop, it just lit the tires up. Then I went a little fast, taking off from a stop sign around a corner where it would wheel hop a little before. That seems to be gone. So, so far so good with that. It's another come to a complete stop. We'll just kind of pull off quick here. Yep, no wheel hop, just spins the tires. I'm okay with that. I would rather tire spin than it hopping around and breaking the 10 bolt in this. So we'll come up here a little bit, no traffic, we'll slow down and we'll give it a quick hit. I don't know. What do you think? 30? Nah. Let's see if we can get this traffic to go by here, and we'll try it from about, say, 20. 20 sounds like a good number. Yeah, okay. We're in agreement. How about 15? Kept nice and straight, but definitely did not do that in first gear before. It would kind of haze them and go. Now it hits the tires pretty hard, so that's okay. These are just regular old street tires. That's what we got the drag radials for. Those are our athletic shoes. So go ahead and say mission accomplished with that. It's doing what it's intended to do. One thing I would say I'm not sure if I'm going to be crazy about in the future, the hind joints are not greasable. So in the future I may look to change them out to some greasable ones. Thus far though, I will say whatever these are, they're not noisy. I was expecting them to clunk and bang a little bit, and so far they're pretty quiet. So overall, good. And as always, thanks for watching. Always appreciate it when everyone likes, subscribes, shares, and comments are always welcome. Good, bad, ugly, otherwise. So on that note, we'll end it here, and I'll see you next time, hopefully for either some drag racing or dyno time, whichever comes first.